Hi everyone, it's Bren here and welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, because it's National Recycling Week here in Australia, I've decided to make this video which is showing you 10 of my favourite upcycle projects here in my garden. And I do know that some of you may have seen them before in previous garden updates, but I really wanted to have them all in this one location so that you could refer back to it if you're looking for a bit of upcycle garden inspiration. And just to point out, they're not in any particular order. Well, before we get into this week's video, I did want to acknowledge what's been happening here in Queensland and New South Wales here in Australia. I know I've got a lot of followers from here, and I just wanted to say that I'm thinking of you all. It's been quite a difficult week for us. Having come from Ireland, I haven't grown up in this situation with bushfire threats, and I found this week very stressful, and I can only imagine what other people are going through. It's just absolutely dreadful. So yeah, I just want you to know that you're in my thoughts and I hope you're all okay. Okay, well, let's get into the video now. I really enjoy getting creative in the garden, and starting off today, my number one upcycle is this here, which is a bird bath, and it's made out of a base which used to be a candle holder. I bought it for around $6 from an op shop, and the top here is a plant pot saucer, and I put a broken terracotta pot on top there, filled with water, and the birds love it. Number 2 on my list is this garden trellis made out of an old watering hose which was beyond the point of repair. I did try and patch it up, but there were so many holes in it, and what I did was I cut it into pieces in strips, threaded some wire through it and attached the wire either side to tomato stakes, and for this springtime I'm using it to let these sweet peas grow up it. I also use some of the hose by cutting them up into small little pieces, as you can see here, and I inserted them into some tins, and it just makes a nice little habitat for small insects and bugs. I'm now in the back garden to show you number 3, which is this children's seating area where my kids love hanging out, having meals and playing and drawing, and it's made up out of an old cable reel which I just painted the top purple. There's lots of really great ideas out there if you go searching on the internet for designs. I kept it very basic, and then I also got these old school chairs that were destined for the tip, and they are well loved here in my garden. And number 4 on the list is this CD rack that's been upcycled into a bug hotel. Such an inexpensive project, especially if you go and have a look around the garden. You can always find natural materials that you can add into your hotel, like pine cones, or here's some paper bark that I got off one of our trees. You just have a look around and see what you can find, and put some straw in there as well. Another great thing you can use are some old sea pods, and then some old flower heads as well. We're now at the halfway point, and here's a lovely, fun, whimsical garden feature to have. You can see there it's in this container that has all these absolutely beautiful Icelandic poppies. I'm really in love with this colour. As you know, I love big, bright and beautiful flowers in my garden, and all it pretty much is an old watering can, and I've threaded some wire through it, and I've collected, you know, the lids of all the milk cartons. You got your light milks and your full cream milks. I've collected these lids, and yeah, I just threaded them through the wire, and they look a bit like water pouring out of the watering can. Just a bit of fun. Number 6 on the list is this wall planter, which is actually made out of a selection of tins which I was fortunate enough to be given, and you can see here I popped some succulents in them all. It was so easy to put together. All I did was I just drilled a hole in the base of the tins, the side and the lid, and I attached it to this frame, and I'm just so pleased with how it's turned out. I think the colour combination is just lovely. Number 7 on my list is this clothes hanger trellis. We've all seen so many of these clothes hangers being thrown out, and they break so easily. So why not just tie them all together like this with a bit of material, and you can use them in your garden. Here's one used as a wall feature, or you can use it as a trellis to hold some climbing plants, some edibles like maybe some beans or peas. It's just a great way of stopping these being put into landfill. Number 8 on my list is this rusty old garden shovel that I've upcycled into this quirky garden sign. And I also made this one as well. And it wasn't until I started putting the video together that I noticed I'm missing a couple of letters. So I'll have to go outside tomorrow and go rummaging for them. Number 9 is this rusty old Postbox, which has to be my most favourite repurposed item in the garden. It has been the best thing I've put in because I use it to store my tools when I'm out here, and I've got one designated place to put them, and it saves me losing them elsewhere. Number 10 are these old fan covers. I see so many of these fans being thrown out at the end of each summer. I think it's just because they're mass produced, low quality, and they break so easily. So whenever I see them, I gather them up to use in my garden. Like here, I've used them as a trellis, and here at the back of the garden, I use them over this archway as a nice feature, and I think it looks really well. It draws your eye to the back of the garden. Well, there you go everyone. I hope you enjoyed looking at my 10 favourite upcycle projects here in my garden. And if you enjoy this video, please make sure you like it. And I do upload a new video every Friday, which is a general garden update of my cottage garden here in New South Wales. So if you're interested in seeing more of my videos, please consider subscribing to my channel. And for those of you who are already, I will see you all again next Friday.